Hey, love. Welcome back to another episode of Lessons from Behind My Chair. I'm your host, Angela B. Fuller, master hairstylist turned certified life coach. Today, we have a very good conversation lined up for you. I am excited to talk about being bored. But before we dive into the conversation, of course, I want to start things off with a question, with a pop question. And that question is, how many times have you said to yourself, I am so bored. I am bored out of my mind. How many times have you said that to yourself? And how many times have you had to say, wait a minute, there's just too much available to me in this life for me to be bored? Because, so many times we fail to realize just how good we got it. So I want to talk about the feeling of being bored. I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, and I had to ask her, what is going on? What is happening with our zest for life? Where did that go? And when did that happen? Did that just sneak up on us? Because all of a sudden we are bored. There's not enough to keep us excited. There's not enough going on to give us something to look forward to. For some reason, we have just become a little stuck, and frankly, I'm just tired of it. I really am. So I want to just talk about the 5 lies about being bored, the 5 lies we tell ourselves as to why we are bored. Okay, so let's jump right in. So the first lie is, some of us believe that after so many years of living that we just have to expect boredom to set in. And that is simply not true, because I believe that life, that we can create the life that we want. We can create a life that helps us to feel lit up. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to have challenges. Life is not going to throw us any curves. But I think that part of the problem with us thinking that our life is destined to boredom is because a lot of times we compare our lives to someone else. I can remember on a regular basis, I would watch my neighbor put her suitcase in the car, and I say, hey, where you going? Oh, I'm going out of town. I've got a plane to catch. And I'm thinking, man, she's living a life that's filled with adventure. And what that caused me to do was compare my going to work, getting off, coming home, having to prepare dinner, and just get ready for the next morning. I was comparing my life to her throwing suitcases in her car, headed off to the airport, flying off somewhere to enjoy herself, when in all actuality, she was going out of town because she had a sick parent. And so many times we compare our life to someone else when we would not trade what we have to experience what they are experiencing. And so do you. We've got to learn to do us. And when we see someone jet setting, just wish them the best and be about our own business. Okay? And so secondly, the second lie we tell ourselves as to why we are bored is, every day will not be sunshine. And that is simply not true because, listen, we all have experiences in life. But for those of us who have been in an airplane, when we are on the ground boarding that airplane and it's a cloudy day, drizzly rain is falling, that blowing kind of wind. And when we sit in that airplane and we fly to a certain altitude above the clouds, there's nothing but sunshine up there. So that lets me know that yes, every day is sunshine, but we've got to learn to find the good, the joy, the adventure in our lives, even when our day is not going perfectly as planned. And we've got to understand that it's all waiting for us. We have to put ourselves above the clouds, and the sun is right there waiting for you to soak it up. We've got to expand our minds. We've got to get a grip on our limiting thoughts. And that's what I'm learning in this season of my life. I'm learning to think beyond what I'm accustomed to. I'm learning to think beyond my comfort zone. I'm learning to rise above my lower experiences and try to see how I can just push that notch, just go one notch up above where I am to create the life that I desire for myself. And the third lie that I've come across about why we feel that we are bored is that it just takes too much effort. And if things are not working out the way you want, then we have to understand that, yes, we do have to put the work in. We do have to put the time in order for us to create what we want our day, our months, our weeks, our life to be. And that I'm finding that once I step into that creative process, that the effort comes more easily. Yeah, it might take a minute to get it going, to get that wheel turning. But once we take one step, don't try to tackle 5 or 6 things at one time. Just take one step in the right direction. Spend a few minutes gathering your thoughts. Write your thoughts down is the second thing. And then take slow, deliberate action. And you'd be surprised how effortless your creativity begins to flow and what can be done. I know today was not the easiest day for me, but I knew I had to put forth the effort to create my podcast, to create this conversation, because I love it so much. And I know that if I put forth the effort, not only would I feel better, not only would I get something from it, but I believe that it would make a difference and create impact in at least one person's life. So the minimal effort that it took to get started, to coming in my office, setting up, turning on my computer, turning on my mic, was going to be worth the impact that it was designed to create. And number 4 is, this is a good one because, listen, sometimes we look at people and we go, man, that person got it going on. They can walk into a room and light it up. So the 4th lie we tell ourselves is, all my friends find me boring, so there is no hope for me. My question is, who told you that? Who told you that? Was it that voice in your head that said that you are boring? And then, so what you're doing is projecting it out that other people told you that? Was it your lack of self-confidence, or you believing in that imposter syndrome? Listening to that voice that constantly wants to bring you down or tear you down? Listen, it's a lie. And I want you to dispel that. You've got to learn to release past drama like I had to, past trauma like I had to. I had to work on, and I'm still working on it, releasing past trauma that keeps me from walking into a room with fire, that keeps me from showing myself as worthy. Sometimes we try and remain invisible because we believe that we don't have anything to offer, but that's not true. And listen, sometimes you just gotta fight to be in the room. Sometimes you have to go to battle with that inner voice, that inner self that tells you that you don't belong at the table. Because when we don't allow ourselves to be expansive, when we don't make room for our gifts, then we shrink. And in that shrinkage, that's where the boredom comes, because we're not expressing, we're not letting loose. We're not putting our gifts into the world. And so that helps us to feel small. And listen, I know what I'm talking about because I've been there. And many times I visit it again. But I've learned to self-talk and self-soothe myself to bring myself back to the level I feel that I ought to be, that I deserve to be. And so no one is finding you boring. It's a voice, it's a lie that you're telling yourself based upon past trauma. And so when you learn to walk into a room with fire, you will learn that people are really waiting for you. Because when you walk into a room with fire, you bring the energy, and your light and your heat will fill the entire room. And when it's cold outside, everybody wants to move towards the light, to move towards the heat. So I want to encourage you to light your fire and walk into that room. And I know you're going to do it. I got a feeling that you're going to do it. And number 5 is this lie. The 5th lie we tell ourselves as to why we are bored is this: I've done all there is to do, and so there's nothing left. There's just nothing else to do. And that I want you to stop, because you can't live. Matter of fact, you haven't even lived long enough to do all of the things that this world has to offer. This world is filled with infinite possibilities. It's filled with infinite experience and infinite adventure. So what you have to learn to do is expand your vision. Open yourself up to new ideas. Not just your ideas, but be open to other people's expression of their ideas. And then get outside your comfort zone and meet the adventure that's waiting for you on the other side. You know, it's about learning to be flexible. And then once you become flexible, then all you have to do is flex. And you'd be surprised how expansive, you'll be able to look around and feel how expansive this world is. And how not just this world, but how expansive you are. And the things that your eyes were once closed to, you'll begin to see. And boredom will just sweep out the window. And so the point of this entire conversation is to allow more. It's about allowing more into yourself, and allowing yourself to push out what's inside of you. Don't hold your gifts. Don't suffocate your gifts, your talents, your desires, your voice. Learn to push it all out and be a part of the conversation, be a part of the change, be a part of the expansion. And this all, it does take effort, but it takes a willingness to be vulnerable as well. It's not all about effort. It's about showing up in your authentic self, and it's also about the willingness to be vulnerable and to trust yourself, but also to trust yourself with other people. And so here are just a few things I'm learning to do that I think can help. So every day, I want you to do just a few things. Every day, I want you to go into your phone and send a simple text to just one person in your contact. It could be an acquaintance. It could be a very good friend, but just one text, a simple text to someone in your phone. And whatever moves you in that moment. It could be, hey, how you doing? Or just thinking about you. Hey, how you doing? Hope you have a great morning. Hey, how you doing? Hope you enjoy your afternoon. Something basic, something simple, just to get you in the habit of connecting with other people, of reaching out. And in reaching out, just entertain the idea of letting just one person in to your experience. Another thing I think you will find helpful is to try, and this is something only you can do for you, is to try and catch a sunrise, or even try to catch the sunset and experience the joy of nature with that. To see that right around you in nature, there are reasons, there are evidence that you don't have to be bored. Catch the beauty of the sunrise. Catch the awesomeness of the sunset. And see what that feels like. See how that shapes your morning, or see how that shapes your night. See how that opens you up to possibilities. That'll knock boredom right out of the window, or sweep it right out the door. Another thing you might want to try is, make a date with yourself. Even if you're in a relationship, make a date with yourself. A breakfast date, a lunch date, a dinner date, a date to pamper yourself, a massage, a manicure, a pedicure, anything that allows you to enjoy you being you. And in doing that, the fourth thing that would start to formulate in you is, it'll help you to be a friend to yourself. So you'll never be bored, because you are your friend. You begin to see yourself differently. You begin to enjoy your own company. You begin to love yourself more, to compliment yourself, to appreciate yourself. And when you fill yourself up like that, then you can certainly fill others up. You can compliment someone else. You can treat someone else out to lunch, to dinner, to a manicure, to a pedicure. That will knock boredom out the window or sweep it out the door. And the last and final thing is to do something different. Every day, choose to do something different. Okay? Anything. It could be as simple as, instead of going to work the same route, try going a different route to work. Instead of eating at the same restaurant, try just eating at a different restaurant. Instead of, when you go to the grocery store, choosing one brand, choose a different brand over the other. Instead of parting your hair on the right, try parting your hair on the left. And see how something as simple as making those small, minute changes makes a difference in your day. I can tell you one thing, it's made a difference in mine. These same everyday simple suggestions that I'm suggesting that you do, I did it for me, and it made all the difference. It compounded, and through that, it has changed my day. Changed my day, changed my week, changed my month, and it's changing my life. So there's no need for me to keep it to myself. You know, why not share it? Why not pass it? Why not offer suggesting on how someone else can enjoy their day? And so, listen, I hope you've gotten something, at least one thing, out of this conversation. And if you have, use it. Use it to make, a difference in your life. Or share it out with someone you like, know, or care about. And if you do share this episode out, you can tag me at Angela B. Fuller. I would love to know that you've passed it on and that it's making impact in your life or someone else's life. Because what that will do for me is inspire me to keep going, to keep making these conversations possible. Okay? I've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have too. And remember, I believe in you. And I'll talk with you next Sunday. Same time, same day. Okay? Bye. Mwah.